I'm back with another live stream again. Because I kind of feel like it. But, today, still get all this stuff on. So there we go. Fire Alarm Chief 101 is here. We're just kind of getting ready for some stuff here. Yeah, it's always on code 3. Alright, we'll just do Google Slides for now. So we're gonna do something. Actually, no, we can't, but we will do that at some point. So for anyone who wasn't here yesterday's stream, or no, actually yesterday's video, I replaced this pull station out. I had the whatever there, and then I decided to put this back because of how stripped that lock was. So, get that pulled up. Anyways, I'm not entirely sure what I feel like doing today. We're definitely gonna test the system. That's never not an option. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna start taking requests. I usually don't start off like that, but if you guys want to request a device, I guess I will do it. But yeah, so I guess I have to clear that off. Alright, that'll be up in a sec. There it is. Alright, so the Spectre Alert Advanced. No, I meant devices to set off. So, full alarm walkthrough. Okay, that could mean two things. You either talking about tell you all the devices, or do full alarm, like no walk test and pull everything. So, but yeah. Alright, I will do the BG12. So, speaking of which, actually, before I do that, I gotta fix a major problem that's been going on with these. Yes, I will test this, don't worry, but it's just a little loose. And I don't really like that, because, you know. So, here's what we're gonna do. It might take me like a few minutes. Full alarm, 1 pull station, no silence. Alright, we'll do the BG12, which is the one I'm currently working on. So, here it is. Yes, I promise. I will set the alarm off. Just bear with me for a second, because I do have to... A lot of people requested me to fix this. And I agree with them, because it is not correct, per se. So I guess you guys can also get to see the inside or the back of one of these. It's not that cool, but gets the job done. So obviously a drill would be handy, but... So I probably should have disabled the zone before I did this, but you know how I am. Technically you don't really have to, since we're just working on one, and also especially since this is the end of line. Oh, no wonder. This is one of the old boxes that I didn't have screws, so I just kind of had to wing it with nails. So that makes sense. Dude, this screw sucks. How long is this thing? Guys, someone like the stream, come on. Power tools. Didn't want to have to... stink. This is very annoying. Don't know. Look how fast that was. Okay, so now we can kind of see in here. Show you the back of this. So, end of line. And as you can see, it's being held in by nails, which is obviously incorrect. So, looking over here. It's going to suck to clean up later, but here's one. Hopefully this works. All right. Well, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this with only one hand. So I am going to have to set the camera down for just a quick second. So just bear with me here. Hopefully we'll never have to get that out because I just stripped it so bad. But I don't care. All right. That's in there good. So now, I don't want to waste your guys' time much longer, so I'm just going to use the power drill. Even though there's probably not that much battery left. I honestly should have just done a video on this, because... Anyways. So, unfortunately I can't tell you what I'm doing, but... Okay, what in the world? Alright, we're good. Now we're gonna get the other one. Okay, so this is very annoying. I hate this. What in the world? Why won't this go in? This is fucking ridiculous. This pull station kind of is broken, so it doesn't really latch right. Okay. Come on. I want to test some alarms here. What is this? Come on. There we go. Alright guys, sorry about that. That's secure. What do you guys think of this? That's good. Fun fact, my drill is called Firestorm, which is ironic, but anyways. I'm going to get some ear protection on, and we are going to start the test. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. No. I have a whole shelf upstairs with different alarms and stuff. These are just the devices I use the most, so I just have them down here, but I have more upstairs. All right, now that we have a secured pull station, we can actually, look at that. Look how secure that is. Beautiful. There we go. Jeez. Alright, sorry about that. My stream is glitching like crazy right now. I don't know what happened, but we can reset. Alright. My bad. I had to drain the sprinkler valve. Okay. Let's plug this in here. There you go. Can you show me your System Spencer Classic? Yeah, I got you. Here it is. I actually featured this on a system test. This was actually here for a lot of system tests. Right here. I had this on the system for a few tests. But yeah, so. Yep. Let's see what kind of panel is that? It is a Notifier RP-2002. And no modifications, just stock. Besides my additional programming, but that's just. So I'll kind of show you all my zones here. Zone 6 I actually is still supervisory because I don't use it, but let me know. Should we use Zone 6? Should we use Zone 6, guys? Technically, you're only supposed to use the 5, and 6 is for like a supervisory circuit, but technically, you always could use it, but you shouldn't, but it's fine. It would still work. No damage. So get the BG12. I have this new device, which actually I think we'll do right now. 3, 2, 1. All right. All right. This one's getting a little loose too, I guess. All right. Oh yeah, the panel beeps. You want to know how to get a panel into trouble quick? Here's how to make a fire alarm panel angry. Just remove one of the... put it back. That's normal again. Speaking of which, we gotta clear our history. Yes, you can also clear your search history on fire alarm panels. So, for anyone wondering, yes, panels do have search history, so always clear it, unless you're a good boy like me. But in this case, that was a joke. But in this case, it just filled up, so I had to delete it so we have room for more logs for stuff, because 256 is the max. Fire drill? Okay, bet. Alright, after this, we're going to go outside and see how loud the alarms are. It is only 3:15 and it's already getting really dark. I guess that's just the leaves. False alarm, never mind. But it is getting dark. With daylight savings time, or in my area, we do have it, so. Anyways, there's the classic. Well, that ain't good. Did you hear that? Alright, just this fell. No. This is very unstable, so. What about the security system? Ooh, yes. Here's my security system. And we will test that, actually. I think we're going to set the fire alarms off. And I think we're actually also, here's what we're going to do. We're going to set everything off. So I'm going to set off the basement fire alarm system. We're going to set off the demo board fire alarm system. And then we're going to set off the fire alarm portion of my security system. Agent release system, absolutely not. Guys, who do you think I am? This is just a random basement system. Agent release, no. I don't think any other fire alarm enthusiast, not even SER Safety, has an agent release system. The only one close to is probably Nick's System in Electric. He has a sprinkler system, but yeah, no one has agent release. Anyways, here's the science homework that I failed. And instead of doing that, I'd rather keep doing fire alarms, so. Yeah. I know it has a discharge system. Yeah, like, I'm not talking about, like, full-on agent suppression release systems. And, yes, this is an agent release panel. But right now it's just a fire alarm panel, but I will show you something cool. I do have release, or actually, I could just show you in read status. System settings. Abort. Or no, actually it would be daylight. Never mind. So I believe it would be close. Yeah, release 1. So as you can see, there's no release groups. All right, I gotta check one thing, and then we'll be ready to set everything off and go outside. And yes, I will get security camera footage. You already know. So I gotta check one thing, and I'll be right back to sound the alarms off. Good news. Let's set off all the alarms. Here we go. Demo board. What the? Oh, yeah. I forgot to enable the zone. False alarm. Alright. I do want this alarm to sound, so I am going to keep it on. Here we go. Fire alarm! Look at that. This camera's dead. That sucks. I replaced the batteries in a sec. Fire alarm in the main house is still going off, so. Fire alarm. Wow. That that was something. So, yeah. Anyways, that was crazy loud. Well, let's continue. The system is normal. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyways, I think that's gonna do it for today's live stream. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.